Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me. Happy New Year. Before we start, I just want to say how grateful I am for this past year. At the start of 2023, I only had 231 subscribers for the channel. We are now fast approaching 3,000. And all of that happened in this past year in 2023. So looking back on the year, it's been quite the successful year. I began participating in early access streamer events. I started a Twitch account so that you guys can watch me live. Still working on making that better. I have upped my content to be able to bring you more videos. And in the year to come, I hope to bring you a lot more content as the channel grows. But none of this would be possible without you guys who are all watching my videos, subscribing, liking, commenting, especially the comments. They really keep me going. Let me know that you appreciate the videos and the content that I put out. So I just wanted to say, whether you started joining the channel before 2023, for the 200 of you out there, or whether you joined in just the past set, your support has made this channel possible. And I just wanted to say thank you for enjoying. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for participating. All of it means a great deal to me. Let's jump into MOMIR. This is officially my 101st video for the channel. And I did a MOMIR video a while back to celebrate 1,000 subscribers. So we're going to go back and do another MOMIR video to celebrate the new year and the channel doing so well. A few quick words about MOMIR in general that I think a lot of people don't talk about is that I believe it is the best format to get better at Magic the Gathering. Period, full stop. If you want to become a better player, you should play MOMIR, and you should play it as much as possible. In fact, I wish it was a format offered all the time on Arena, because it is so good at teaching so many basic Magic skills. And I also think that this format has a lot of misconceptions that are running around. So I have an outstandingly high win rate in MOMIR, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that I outplay my opponents quite well. But a lot of it also has to do with just basic fundamental Magic that you learn by playing Limited and other Magic formats that you can apply here. Probably my most controversial theory on MOMIR is that I believe whether you are on the play or the draw, you should absolutely every time cast a 1-drop. Because it's all creatures and no removal spells, curving out is the way that you gain board state supremacy. And although most of the time when you roll a 1-drop, it's going to be a 1/1 or something that seems irrelevant, late game that 1-drop many times can chump block an 8/8, buy you an attack turn, and win you the game. So not only can it do that, but mid-game it can trade off. You can trade up for it. There's just a lot of utility in just having things on the board and spending all of your mana every turn. So, bit of a fun video. I'm obviously not drafting today. We're just going to play MOMIR, and we're going to just talk about basic Magic gameplay skills. Good attacks versus bad attacks. Really important in MOMIR. It's all about board state. It's all about keeping supremacy over the board state. When do you chump? When do you block? When do you trade? So, let's just jump into some games and start playing some casual Magic and have some fun. But I do think that if you want to get better at playing Magic, this is probably the easiest way to get into it. I am on the play, and I'm absolutely going to play a 1-drop. What is this one? It's a 1/1. Okay, it's a 1/1 that can become a 1/2. That'll probably trade up. That's not bad. Yeah. Let's see what we get first. Sometimes you want to offer the trade. Oh, that's a really good card. Oh, I get to steal a land here. Oh, that's really good. So, one of the basic Magic skills that this format teaches you is card advantage. And although you're only drawing lands, that card advantage is very much felt, especially towards the back end. So me taking this land right now deprives them of a more expensive spell later in the game. Basically took their advantage of being on the draw away completely. Do I want to make that 2/1? I guess not. I mean, I guess maybe I should have. -1 damage. Oops. But anyway, that's not going to become a 3/2 anytime soon, is it? Probably not. you want to have each color land on the board if possible, in case you have a creature with an activated ability. Rarely will it be worth you to activate an ability. Okay, they're going to get a land back from this, so my card advantage gained from my 1-2 is completely erased by that 2-1. That's quite good. Yeah, have a color of each mana on the board, so if you have an activated ability that you need to do, you have the colors to do it with most of the time. We're going to offer some trades here after we see what we get to block with. Yeah, still going to go. I'm probably not going to block with my 3-1 Death Touch. If they attack in, I'll be taking 3, but if they don't block here at all, they're taking 3 as well, and we're winning the race. If they don't block, I'm pumping this time, even though I forgot last time. Yeah. All right, let's do that. They'll get their land back that we made them discard, so a little bit of a bummer, but we are winning the board state, right? That's not too big of a deal. The bigger deal is that they became a 3-2 because they now have an artifact. So we're probably going to offer a trade. And I want to offer it before I show them what they could be trading up with that 3-2, because it is hitting up to a 3 defense. Like, I want to see if they take it first. If I was them, I would trade with the Death Toucher. But this would also make their 1-1 worse, because it goes back to a 1-1 instead of a 3-2. See what they do. I mean, 5's a lot of damage. Ooh, they took it. Okay, well, we're going to make it 6 damage. Let's see what we get for our 4-drop. None of these matter. We are being aggressive, so I'm going to make everybody lose a life, because I doubt we're going to venture again. So it's really just the first dungeon that you want. And since we are trying to go a little bit aggro, I don't mind dealing 1 damage to myself as well there. So at some point in this game, they're going to have more mana to cast more expensive spells, but they'll still only be doing 1 spell per turn. That's a very nice hit for them. Okay, so when that creature dies, they put all the lands that are in their graveyard onto the battlefield. So when that 3/3 dies, they get infinite mana. Not so good for me. I'm going to need to be very careful with my attacks. I think I want to try and find a creature that's with flying so I don't have to trade off that 3/3. And I might even take 3 damage for a while if they attack in with it. Just so that they don't start casting 8 drops, 10 drops on me right away. It's an interesting card. Well, at least they didn't attack in first. They have the first flyer on the board. Flying is really important in this format, because evasion's just king. They did not attack in. I would have attacked in maybe with a 3/3, but maybe not. It's the only thing preventing me from attacking. Let's discard, see what we get. Not a flyer. Oh no. Six mana, 6/6 flyer. Need to find an answer to that sooner than later. But at the same time, it also might behoove me to just attack in and say, okay, get your infinite mana. And trade off. See what they do here. Okay. Let's see what we get for our 6-drop. And then we might attack in here and try and get aggressive. What? Why didn't I get another 2/3/3s? Right? When it enters the battlefield... Oh, if it isn't a token. Okay. Well, that's a very disappointing 6-drop hit. I'm going to swing in. I can't beat a 6/6 flyer. I'm going to die in 2 turns to it anyway. I need to force some trades here, and then hopefully my board is wide enough afterwards that I can win out. They are going to be able to cast a very large creature here. But yeah, they'll just eat 1 creature, and then the rest is chump. Oh, they're going to... Oh! Well, I don't think they should have done that. They 2-for-1 themselves there. That was actually really nice trades for us. Still wish Gruff Triplets actually did more than a 3/3 here, because if it wasn't a token, we'd get the 2 other ones, but because it's a token, it's kind of a terrible 6-drop to hit. Our opponent right now is not in a position where they can attack. They have tons of mana. If they're smart, they'll cast either 10 or 12. Probably 10. I would go with 10. What did they just do? Did they just do 18? So that's the other thing is, yeah, they gave up. Is if you cast a spell, if you pay amount that doesn't exist, you don't get a card. So, little mistake on their part. I still think we had a decent shot at winning, and we did get a 7/7 to balance out and win. So even if they didn't attack there, we would have been in a good spot. GG. Don't cast something for 18. Make sure that there's a creature spell in Magic that is the mana value you're casting. Let's see if this person plays a turn 1 play. Or if they'll go with the popular theory that they should pass. They're thinking very hard on this. They play. Good. They know what's up. And that's a very good hit for them. Let's see what we get. A 1/2. Cannot attack into their 0/3 with that. The fact that this sacrifices and they get to draw a land back means that their turn 1 play was basically a free cycle, a free blocker for the early game. So I think it's a good hit. This is interesting. Pay 2 life, activate only once. It becomes a human cleric with +1 in life link. That's good. It becomes a Phyrexian 5/5 trample. Whenever this creature deals damage, sacrifice that permanent. Wait, whenever it deals damage or I deal damage to it? I'm going to have to reread that card after I get my card. Okay, we got the Prodigy here. It's not going to do anything. It's just a 1/3. No attacks. Okay, wait. So whenever this creature is dealt damage, sacrifice that permanent. So they should definitely choose the first option if they're going to transform it at all. I don't think they should transform it at all. They should keep curving out. Oh my gosh, they're not. Okay. So technically, if I throw my 1/2 in front of this, it kills their Vine Wall. And we're doing a 1-for-1 trade. I'm still taking 4 damage on top of it, or sorry, 3 damage trample. But still a 1-for-1 trade. I'm totally willing to do that. Why would you sack a land? It's like the worst thing to sack in this format. Land is power. You need to keep your lands. Okay, Death Toucher. That's helpful. I'm just gonna pass. I think if they attack him with the 5/5 again, I'm just gonna block with the 1/3 instead of the Death Toucher. That's a very good card in this format. Oh, that's a big problem. I'm gonna sacrifice my 1/3. I can't sack my lands, and I don't want to take 3 damage every turn. Flyer's great. I don't think we get it back because it's token, right? Here we do. We'll see. I'm glad they're trading with their Death Toucher. Yeah, we don't get it back. if they attack him with the 5/5, I will trade my 3/4 with it and make them sack 3 permanents. They absolutely should not attack him with that 5/5. It's a complete liability for them. It's a really bad move. What does this one do? Card's pretty good. I don't know how you win sacking 3 permanents. That was totally not worth 2 damage. All lands. Wow. Okay. Well, we're probably going to win this game. Hopefully, if anything, this can show you how important it is to not sack your lands and how important your lands are. I think they would have been in great shape if they just made it into a lifelinker, if anything at all. I think mana-wise, they're just too far behind. We're going to hit something big. I'll trade here again. Make them sack 2 permanents. Even though we're not killing the 5/5 trampler, we're killing other things. Let's do 6. Get something big. I mean, I'm going to stay back. I hope by now they realize the 5/5's a liability. Oh, that's a good card. I mean... I don't know what to say. They can't cast spells now. They don't have land to cast spells. And now I have a 7/7. It's gonna be a 14/14 trampler. Yeah, 3 in there is annoying. That's good. Is that Omnath? Let's hit him for 14 here. We'll win in next turn, basically. Brontodon's huge in this format. Yeah, there's Omnath. If I play out a land, I'll get a 5/5. I don't think that's a bad play, but I think I'm just going to roll the dice on 7. Because, I mean, I won anyway. Might as well see another creature, right? Alright. New game. On the play, I am definitely getting a 1-drop. Ooh, pinged him for 1 already. Look at that. The blood token's pretty useless in this format. I'm never going to pay 1 just to get another land. That is not useless. The containment construct. So I am discarding a card every turn. Technically it's a land. I'm going to show it to you this coming up turn since my opponent is playing slow. And I don't think it's going to affect my board state very much. But I want to show you what happens when basically I cast for 2. I'll be able to play out my land anyway. So I basically get a free extra resource every turn with this on the board. So I'm never going to trade off this creature. But I'm not going to be doing that until I get 0 cards left in hand. So, yeah, thanks. So for now, I should curve out. But when I get to, you know, the 1 card left in hand, I'll be able to cast it after I get my, you know, 6 or 7 drop, whatever we end up maxing out at. So it's a very important late game card where I'll be able to play out a land every turn, even though I'm also casting a spell. And hopefully they won't have that same luxury. The Fractal guy was not a bad hit for them because it gave them 2 creatures for 1. Wide boards, even if it's just a 1/1, is very important. Same reason why casting a 1-drop is important. 2/3 flying Death Touch lifelink, love it. Very good hit. We'll never be casting spells, so it won't do the other stuff, but I'll take a 4-mana 2/3 lifelink Death Toucher in this format. with flying. A 5/2. Let's get a 5-drop. It's kind of fun rolling and seeing what you get. Girdergoons. It could be worse. Girdergoons technically gives me an extra creature. It's interesting that we're both getting land value and extra draws from their 2/2. Kind of makes mana containment useless. It's a bad 5-drop to hit. It's underpowered by 1 and you can't discover into anything. I mean, there's no spells, just all land, so if he discovers, you're just gonna, you're just gonna do that. And then they all go back shuffled. Nice. Absolutely trading my defender here for their 5/2, and I'm going to trade Girdergoons and my 1/1. Basically, my 1/1 is upgrading and up trading there, so fun stuff. Yeah, I can cast this pre-combat. Let's get our 6-drop. Sometimes you don't want to do it pre-combat. Most of the time you do, because you want to know what kind of blocking board state you have on the back crack. Like right now I know I can attack in with my 4/4 and trade off because I have a 6/7 behind it. But sometimes if you want to like force trades and you think that you're on the back foot and you think that your trade is not as good, maybe you might want to wait till after to see if they'll trade off before knowing that you're going to get something better. Doesn't always work out, but you don't always have to cast your creature pre-combat. 7-drops are always great. Let's get something great. It was okay. Our 6/7 can only be blocked by that 6/6, by the way. So they either chump or they take 8 here. And if they take 8, our board is too wide. They're going to lose. Yeah. That's not going to do it. They needed a flyer at least. Yep. Okay. Wish that game went longer, where we could show the containment pop off, but that's okay. You get the idea. Let's play our 1-drop. Our opponent decided to not play a card on turn 1. Ooh, Death Toucher. That's a nice hit. The best hits you want for your 1 and 2 drops are definitely Mana Dorks and Death Touchers. Those are premium hits. Sometimes a nice little flyer is also nice. Something that draws a card is also always good. Is that a Mana Dork I see? A Death Toucher followed by a Mana Dork? Unbeatable. Oh my gosh, it could even tap for more than 1 if we get more enchantments. Let's get a 4-drop, and they did not play on turn 3 either. I don't know what my opponent's doing, but they are getting curved out on, and I do not believe this game is winnable for them anymore. Even if they start dropping 4-drops now, like, if they get the best hits ever, I don't know if they can win. My board is way too far ahead. And the 3/4 I just got basically slowly kills them even if I don't attack, if we get into a board stall of some sort. Alright. Deals 1 damage, okay. Offsets our life gain, but we're going to get a 5-drop here. Four for 5 is not my favorite. There will never be 1/1 counters put on it. I'm just wondering whether I should offer my Death Toucher to a 3/4. Or whether I want to save that for when they get something bigger. I guess I'll trade it off. If they want to trade it off, we're doing 3 damage. It's worth it. Now they decide to bounce. again, I mean, underpowered 4/4 that they can't get anything off of. So these kind of hits are always lackluster in this format. Let's get a 6-drop. We have all our colors as well, which is nice. It is not the 6-drop I want. A 3/4, come on, game. I'm going to offer trades again with my Death Toucher. Good. Six 4 is pretty big. Let's see what we roll for 7. 7's usually when you start seeing some really big things, but you can occasionally get something nice on 6. Three 4 flyer. The game's like, let me give you the lowest power creatures per mana ratio possible. Does not matter, we're still winning. And that's also, you know, such a valid point, is that if you get your board state ahead like this, it doesn't matter that you start hitting 3/4s. You know, you can still double block, triple block. Getting a board state that's complicated to attack into, it has a lot of value in the game. I will trade my Death Toucher if they let me. I will get an 8-drop here, although I think 7-drops are more likely to have flyers. Again, not the best 8-drop you could hit. A 5/5 trample is very weak. But we can afford to hit weak hits because we set up our board early. I mean, see, that's an 8-drop that you would expect. They can't get anything off of that, but... Good news is we win in 8 turns as long as we don't die before then. Let's get something good. That's something very good. Okay. So this basically makes it so they can only cast 1 spell every 2 turns. Or they can cast cheaper spells every turn. But they can't have it both ways. It basically cuts their mana in half. And that will win the game for us on the spot. So as long as we sit here and make smart trades and don't attack into bad attacks, Vorinclex wins the game for us. Because now we can have access to as much mana as we want every turn. And they're casting 1 big spell for 9 here. And that's going to have to last them 2 turns here. Because their lands will not untap next turn. And the 5/7's not going to do it. I never recommend casting for 9. If you have 9 mana at your disposal, cast for 8. Or 7. Most of the time 8. I have double mana for each of my lands. So, see how I tap for 2 for each of these. Doesn't really matter how many I tap, but I'm just showing you. Does 2 for each source. I'm going to select 10 instead of 12 here. I think 10's a really nice number. You can get Ulamog, some other things. We got an 8/8. That didn't really do anything because we didn't cast it. No need to attack, no rush. We can trade off our O2 mana dork. But see, they can't cast a spell this turn. I mean, they could for 1 mana if they wanted, but they're just going to fall behind. And at some point here, our board state's going to be too wide for them to deal with. Just don't know if we're at lethal quite yet. We're going to do 10 again. Rustglad's great. 10/10 trample, who doesn't like it? I can attack with my 8/8 this turn. If they want to trade off, it's fine. As long as they get something off their board. A 1-for-1 here is fine. They're going to double block, so it's a 1-for-1. Oh, they chumped. I don't think that was right. They should have double blocked for a trade. I'm not sure why they wouldn't do that. Oh. Okay. I mean, it's still just a 1-for-1 there. And I think... Are they dead next turn? Block. 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 Trample. It depends what they hit here. They're doing it for 10 themselves. Remember, they won't get a spell next turn. 5-4 is not going to do it. It doesn't matter that they just got infinite resources. They're not going to be able to use it before they're dead here. See, they have 5 creatures. I have 7 that can actually attack. They can block 5. 3 damage gets through. Ooh, we got a nice hit off 10. Yeah. 5. 6 gets through no matter what. And then the trample damage on top of it is more than enough, yeah. Send it all. It's lethal. No need to send our O2 though. Even if they eat our creatures, there's no way to win this for them. Too much trample damage. Too many creatures. Too wide of a board state. So you would definitely argue they lost this game by not playing their first 2 or 3 turns. I don't know. It was a lot of turns they did not play in the beginning. Let's get a 1-drop. An O2 that mutates. It's just an O2 for us. It's not going to mutate. Okay. Okay, that does nothing either. Might ping for 1, but it's basically 1-3. The best thing that O2 is going to do for us is provide us a nice chump late game. Or a way to block menace. Kind of free roll. 2-1 flyer is nice. Yet again, we have an opponent who is starting on 3. Fully expect to curve out on them and win. Even though our hits have been completely unimpressive. 0-6. We have not exactly gotten the aggressive start we were looking for. You know, usually when you're curving out, you're trying to get something that has more power than toughness, but we're not hitting well. All the same, though, I think our board state's much better than theirs. And if they don't hit a flyer, our 2-1 will win the game. So, let's go in. So eventually here, okay, that does nothing. So eventually here, they are going to start what you call like kind of turning the corner essentially in this format. They are going to start being able to cast 7 mana spells and 8 mana spells, and we're going to be casting just 6 mana spells the whole time. And I do think that that can add up. Oh, that was a good hit. We'll just go in with our flyer. It can add up if you let it snowball for enough turns. But I think we're far enough ahead with our board state that we should be able to... the gain 3, we should be able to win out still. That gain 3 life is a problem. Let's get another 6 drop. Five, 4 haste doesn't do much. Let's just swing it with our flyers for 6. We're still winning in the air here. And if they're not careful, our board's wide enough where we can come back at them. And here's the other thing. Like, they get a big creature down, like a 7/6, right? They still don't have a very good attack into me. That, on the other hand, is a bigger problem. So they now have a much larger flyer on the battlefield than I do. Good hits for me would be a 6 drop that draws cards. So I can start casting higher mana spells. Or a really big flyer. Okay, it's not a really big flyer, but it does do things that are pretty good. At least their 7/7 does not have a good attack anymore. We don't have a good attack either. A lot of this format is... that's a very good hit for them. So their leveler... if they wait a turn, their leveler can kill a flyer, and then their 7/7 can start attacking in. I'm definitely going to trade for their hill giant. There's no way for me to block. Well, I could let them take a 4/4 or a 5/4 with the hill giant and only take 1 creature, or I could 2 for 1 myself and give up the 1/3 and the 5/4 here. I think I want to do that. This is a bad block. I should have blocked my 4/4 as well. Ooh, saved. A 21/21. Wow. Wow. So we can give everything trample at some point here. Do we have a path to victory if we do that? Not this turn, next turn we would. Okay, so they have to attack him with their 8/8 Cityscaper. They have to kill the 21/21. I can still double block the 7/7. Yeah, we're in a good spot. Yeah, if they don't kill this, we can sack our defender, give trample to it, and everything wins. What is that? Okay, creatures can't attack you. Best 9 mana spell I've ever seen dropped. What are they doing? I guess they want to win in the air. I mean, I'm going to eat their Cityscape Leveler. They gave me a Power Stone too. That's nice. Now I can start casting 7 mana spells. Let's go. We can't attack though. Problem. I do need a flyer. That's actually really nice. Are they dead? I can't attack. They'd be dead if I could attack. Oh my gosh. This card. Oh, so I guess I'm taking 7 until I get another flyer. That's ridiculous. We could lose this game. I don't understand why they keep casting for 9. I don't think 9 is better than 8. Yeah, I can't afford to block here. We're not ready to chump yet. Let's get another 7 mana spell and hopefully it's like a dragon. Oops. It's not a flyer. Oh boy. And I can't attack because of the 5/6. If I don't hit a flyer next turn, I'm dead. I mean, I can start chumping, I guess, but that 5/6 eventually is just gonna kill me. What are they doing? What are they doing? No OP. I mean, easy double block here. And then I win on the back crack. Did they forget that if that dies, I can attack them and then give trample, I guess? Must have. Yeah, they're just daubs. Shouldn't have attacked with their 5/6 there. They had me in 2 turns. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Double strike trample. Let's go. They were dead even without the double strike from the terror, but that's nuts. Let's see if they drop a 1-drop. It's always such a tense moment. People think about this. Pass. Okay. Let's go. It's actually a decent one. The fact that you have to pay a swamp to give it death touch kind of stinks. They did not play a 2-drop either. That's amazing. I think we're going to win this game now. Don't know how many modified creatures you can expect to get. It's probably just going to be a 1/3 renegade there. Yeah, it's just a 3/2. Okay. Just gonna curve out. I don't need to worry about the death touch. Nice flyer. I'll take it. Not the most exciting flyer, but it'll chip in. As long as they don't hit like some crazy flyer themselves here. Okay. It's a bit annoying against my board. Let's keep curving out. Swing for 2. I'm not going to trade out the Sharkdo Crab. The adapt of tapping a creature for a turn. What is this? Whenever you cast... Okay, you're not going to be casting anything. Okay. Does nothing. It's a 4/5. The ability to tap for a turn is really relevant. I guess I'm going to take 4 here and hope that I get something with 2 power to trade. Perhaps I shouldn't have attacked with my flyer and trade off my flyer instead, but I don't think it's worth. Yeah. I'm going to leave my Wind Scout back this turn, because it's kind of awkward. And then we can... I guess we might take 4 here from the 4/5, because that's also awkward. My board state's a little awkward against theirs. Or not. Do we need to block this? They're getting good hits. Okay. The thing is if I trade my 2/1, I can't block the 4/4 flyer anymore. It's a real problem. Guess I'm gonna do it and hope. Let's get a flyer. Hopefully. It's not a flyer. Okay. Just got a 6/7, which is fine. This is gonna create a Thopter. definitely say we're losing at the moment. Just need to hit a flyer here for 7. Actually, I'm going to go with 6 so I can leave open Death Touch. No, 7. We'll leave open Death Touch next turn. We got a 6-7. Oh, that was a good hit. Okay, let's take their flyer. Now we can swing in. It's okay if they swing back for 1. It's a really good hit for us. Stealing a creature is huge. And even when this dies, I keep the creature, right? Yes, I do. Cool. What is this? That's an 8/8. Do I want to tap that this turn? Probably not. Well, if I tap it down, how much can I swing in for? I mean, I can't block it that profitably. Maybe I leave open Death Touch this turn, right? So let's manual tap here so they don't screw us over with black. Turn target creature opponent controls to its owner's hand. Oh, that's kind of perfect. Now we don't have to worry about the 8/8. We could bounce the Thopter as well and swing in for 7, have a 2-turn clock, but I'm okay with going a little bit slower. We have a 5/5 flyer now. We have lethal presented in air if they don't get a flyer on this hit. And even if they do get a flyer, we can tap it down with our shark crab thing. Which is why you don't use your abilities too quickly. So, you know, yet again in this game, this is an instance, and they did get a flyer. We're going to be able to tap that down and swing it for lethal in the air. But this is why abilities that tap down or something you save. In Magic in general, you should save it for when you can get a huge hit in to win or something. So we don't even need to cast a spell. We're just going to adapt, tap the flyer, smack in the air and win. We could technically smack on the ground too if we wanted. But no need. What a fun format. On the play, and I am getting my 1/1. Shambling Ghast is not bad. Can trade up. Wow, they passed. Okay, let's go. Yet another curve out game. Ooh. Shadow of Dusk is pretty good, right? Or sorry, Echo of Dusk. It's pretty good, right? It's gonna be 3/3 lifelinker soon. It's really good for 2 mana. I can't believe they're passing again. If your opponent's curving out on you, oh, I mean, that's kind of unfortunate. They get to cast a 4 mana spell now this turn, and they get to do it before us. I mean, we did ramp ourselves as well up to 5 mana, which is good, but it's kind of a weird card in this format. But if your opponent's like curving out on you, like waiting until you can cast a 4-drop is generally not great. No need to attack. We're fine. Three flying is probably gonna win this game. 6 mana, let's go. Nice, another flyer. Love it. Does nothing. It's just a 4/4 flyer. Still, I mean, good enough. I mean, look how many cards they have in hand, and look at how much better our board state is in theirs, and look how far behind they are. I mean, they're 1 turn away from losing this game. And they put themselves in that position by not playing for the first few turns. I don't understand how somebody who's clearly a good player, I mean, they have world championship sleeves, how they could think that's a good choice. And we got a 7-10 now, so, I mean, it's game over. They can't get 2 flyers, and we have lethal from 2 creatures in the air. But, I mean, unless they hit lifelink here, they'd have to have lifelink flyer to win. Yeah, that's not it. So, I mean, it's not nice, it's not luck, I developed a board, you didn't. I'm just going to take this. But even when they hit, like, you know, the 4-mana 4/4, right? We didn't have anything that big on the board yet, but we can combine for double blocks. They can't have a good attack in. We're winning the board state. You know, we win the game. So, MOMIR definitely teaches you command the board state. Get out early. Get ahead on the board state. Don't lose the board state, because there's no repercussions either. I mean, there's very few cards that you can hit. I'm just going to play 1 drop. There's very few cards you can hit in MOMIR that, if you are behind on board state, restabilize you. Usually you have to hit something with lifelink or an ETB. Opponent sacrifices a creature. That can be a swing, or an ETB, make 2 creatures. Yeah, it's just a 1/2. So, you know, you have to make very smart trades when you make trades. And if you make a bad trade, your board state suffers for the rest of the game, and you might just lose it from that one bad trade. So if you find yourself losing this format a lot, perhaps you're attacking into bad attacks, or you're not getting onto the board early enough. And I know there's a million articles out there that talk about MOMIR and how you should skip your first turn or first 2 turns or whatever. And I've played this enough online to know that that is just not true. And if you wouldn't do it in regular Magic, if you wouldn't say, hey, ideally I'm not going to play a 1 or 2 drop in this game, if you would not do that in regular Magic, it's not good practice in MOMIR either. You know, board states win games. Options on the board wins games. Even a chump blocker, like this 1/1 lifelinker, is like never going to be able to attack in. But, you know, it still has value, because later game, it might prevent my opponent from being able to do an all-out attack, because that 1/1 lifelinker chump blocking their 8/8 or whatever makes it so that I can kill them on the back crack, so they can't overcommit later. And because they are so late to the board, oftentimes it makes my attacks even better, right? I'm going to go ahead and show my 4th drop, but this is a situation where I could see just attacking with the 3/3 and forcing a trade at face value. Okay, we hit something good. I'm still attacking it with my 3/3 for the trade for their 3/3. Even trades are nice to do because it clears the way for my larger drops that are about to hit the board. 3/4 reach is actually pretty relevant in this format. I don't mind getting a spider here. They should absolutely trade. But yeah, if you find yourself losing, it's probably because you're making bad trades in your attacks, or not trading off enough, or you're not getting to the board fast enough with 1 and 2 drops to be able to have a board state where you have options to double block, triple block, or to chump block later in the game to win out. Also, there's a lot to be said about advantage of having higher life total than your opponent, right? If I'm at 20 and they're at 12, I have a lot more options about what do I block, what do I not block. I can make trades that I want. I can let damage through that I don't want to make a trade with. I have more options on the back end. So although the argument is, okay, if you don't play 1 drop, a 4/5 flyer is a really good hit. If you don't play a 1 drop, the argument is, well, you can play 7 drops instead of 6 drops later in the game. And I mean, that's nice and all. It does have value, right? Or 8 drops later in the game. But I'm just as likely to hit something. Demon Pack's pretty cool. Wow, that's a really good hit. Okay, we'll talk about hitting stuff later, but 5-drop Drizzt, base value, 5 mana, 3/3 double striker. It's going to get a bunch of 1/1s when things trade off on this board, since things are going to be pretty big. Plus, it made a second body. That's exactly what they needed to get back in this game. That was a huge hit for them. And see here, I'm going to double block to do 4 damage, and they just traded off a 1/4 for a 1/1. And I wouldn't have that option if I didn't play my 1-drop, right? But anyway, they should only have 1 creature on the board. This is ridiculous. I think I can still race, though. But anyway, yeah, I mean, the difference between a 6-drop and a 7-drop and an 8-drop is pretty minimal. I mean, there is a difference. I'm not going to say there isn't. There is. 8-drops in particular are much stronger. But you might hit something that draws you a card. Like they just hit a 4/5 that drew a card. That's an amazing hit for them, because technically now they can go 1 mana higher later game. But who's to say I won't hit a card that draws a card, right, along the way? Or who's to say I won't have a mana dork that I get on a 2-drop or whatever? So I think that the cons of maxing out lower at 6 mana, 7 mana instead of 8 mana, those cons are minimal compared to the gains that you get in board state early game and mid game, and the options you have late game for double blocking or what have you. See, I just drew a card. So next turn, I will be able to play a 7-drop, right? So technically, I maxed out at this is still good attack. If they want to double trade and make a huge double striker, I'm fine with that, because then they just have 1 creature on the board and we're too wide and we'll win. Or they trade off their double striker with the Tanuki. Either way, it's 1 for 1. They'll still have the cat left over, which is annoying, but that's why the 2 creature card was annoying to begin with anyway. Yeah, they're going to go for the big double striker. I don't think that's necessarily right in this format, because there's no way for them to get 2 more creatures back. So they're 2 for 1ing themselves, sort of. Technically, Drizzt gave them an extra card anyway to play with, but I'm more than happy with that trade, and we have win in the air in 2 turns anyway. And depending on what they draw, we win in 1 turn. And like I said, being ahead on board state, they're at 8, I'm at 19. Even though they have a really strong creature here, double striker, 6/6, if they attack in, they can lose on the back crack, potentially. That's a really good card for them to get. Menace is great in the format. I'm not going to trade my 2 creatures and let them eat 2 creatures to save 16 damage. I'm just going to go down to 3 here. But if I wasn't ahead on board and they were able to chip in earlier in the game, I wouldn't have this luxury, right? And I would just lose. So the fact that I can say, okay, well, good hit, I'm going to take 16 damage is all because I played 1-drops in the format. Gaining life is amazing. All right, we're still just going to go for 4 in the air. We really can't lose. Everything except for Spider is lethal, so I'll just chump with the Spider if I have to this turn. If they decide to attack in. I don't think they will be able to attack in. Unless they get lifelink or something. What is that? There's no lifelink on that. It's just double strike, indestructible, trample, right? They're not dead on board, but close. They can't attack in. I mean, I can do that and then have them dead next turn. I mean, I guess I shouldn't block the 5/5. There's no reason not to, but I mean, they're dead next turn. We'll take 5. But we won this game because we had a better board state throughout the entire game. As good as this card is, it's not gonna catch them up. So, I mean, this is why MOMIR is fun, right? We're learning how to play basic Magic. There's no removal spells, there's no combat tricks, there's no way to regain board state. It's purely about how do you win a board state with the mana you have. And what this format shows better than any other format could ever show you is the use of your mana is important. Playing something every turn, no matter what it is important. And when you go and you play, you know, limited or standard or constructed of any sort, you can take this with you and say, okay, you know, it clearly is better if I put something on the board every turn if I can. You know, clearly if I'm drawing cards, it's better as well, right? They're skipping again. Okay, people skipping their 1-drops. I don't know how that became the popular opinion that you should not play a 1-drop, but but clearly it's an opinion people use. I don't think they're too far behind here. Cub is a really good draw for them. Good thing our Festering Mummy can trade up with it. Let's see what we get for our 2-drop. Brawler's not really going to do anything. It's not worth chipping in for 1, just in case something happens. Cub is so good that it can kind of take control of a game as a 2-drop. So I don't want to risk not being able to block it. What does this do? It can't be blocked. Okay, I'm on a 10-turn clock. It's actually a very good 3-drop for them to hit. They attack in with Cub, I'm trading. Let's see what our 3-drop is. I put a menace counter on target non-human creature. I'm going to do the Brawler. It's a little bit awkward. But when I attack in, I can force a trade with their 2/2 that can't be blocked. And that's what I'm going to eat instead of the Cub, if given the chance. Or they take 2. But they have to double block, and I'll just get to take what I want. Put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control with a menace counter. I don't think I'm ever going to activate that. Like I said, I mean, you want to be using all your mana to put a stronger creature out, more material on the board, not necessarily activating abilities. Even though this one's okay. Death Toucher is annoying. But if they're smart, they'll hold that for later. Yep. Okay. Let's get a 4-drop. I do not want to return permanents to my hand. No, they're all tokens. I guess I'll just swing with Brawler and leave. No, I should go with my 3/2. I'm gonna go with my 3/2. It makes blocks awkward because, like, if they swing out, I can only kill one thing with my Mummy, and I'll probably want to kill the Death Toucher over the Cub, so I'll let the Cub become a 3/3. But I think, you know, a 5-drop should be able to block a 3/3 next turn anyway. And I'm not trading off my 3/2 flyer. We're just going to race at this point. But that's also something this format teaches you, right? When should you race, when should you not race? That is an outrageously good hit. 3 Power Stones, they're already up to 8 mana next turn. I don't know if that's beatable. That was basically like draw 3. 5 mana draw 3. But better. 5 mana 3 ramp permanently. Gosh. I am going to trade with the Death Toucher and let the Cub get larger. That's just something I'm going to have to deal with. Yeah, I am not sure I can beat somebody on turn. When I'm on turn 5, they're going to be able to start casting 9 mana, 10 mana spells. That mana advantage might have just won them this game. But we're going to keep playing because mana advantage isn't everything. It's a lot, though. I'll be very surprised if we win this game. Ooh. I mean, if O'Hare connects, that's mana. We're going to keep racing because I cannot beat what they put down. So we're just going to go with all of it. Whatever they put down next turn's most likely going to be outrageously large. So our best bet is to win quickly. No blocks. That is fantastic for us. Why are they saying nice? If they're smart, they'll choose 8. I would always choose 8 over 9 here. We'll see what they prefer. They go 9. At least they tap 9. That's absolutely disgusting. That's so disgusting. That's pretty good for me. Because they either have to eat their lands or... Yeah. That's actually really good for me. I went in 2 turns in the air now. That doesn't do anything. I'm wondering if we just have lethal this turn. We don't. Let's see if we can get lethal off of this hit. No. Still just going to go for 3 in the air, though. Now we have 2 lethal flying threats, so I don't know too many things that put down 2 flyers at once. But if they're going to cast 10 mana, I don't think there is anything for 10 mana that does that. They're going to need lifelink at this point to save them. I would probably cast for 8 even though I had 10 here, just to have higher hopes to get lifelink, because 10 tends to be like Ulamog and a lot of big Eldrazi type things that don't have lifelink necessarily. Yeah, it's an Eldrazi. The Great Distortion. It's a good card, but too late. Yeah, I mean, I have all the chumps I need. Trade. Kill. Chump. Take 2. Just swing it and win. I think this game really showed that even though our opponent got extreme mana advantage mid-game, our curve out was still stronger. So it's just what I want you guys to take with you, is that a good curve out is many times stronger than the end game one more powerful creature on the board. I mean, of course, it doesn't always work that way, but most of the time the curve out is better. It's pretty good. I mean, the activated ability doesn't do anything, right? It's a token. I can't return it, but it's hitting for 1 power over its mana cost. That's always good. Your go, OP. What? Why didn't they drop a land first? I mean, it's a really good 1-drop. It's better than my 1-drop. I'm going to offer the trade. But why wouldn't they cast a 2-drop there? It made no sense. What's this? That's quite good. So that can become a 4/4 draw card. It's very good. I got a 1/4. I don't think this is going to do anything for us. At least it blocks the 2/1. Ugh. A 4-mana 4/4 draw card is about as good as it gets. It's disgusting value. Need something good here. Our board state is not as good as theirs. 4-mana 2/2 is not it. That's absolutely terrible. I don't even have a good attack. I need the 1/4 for blocking. Gravedigger was not it. They get a 4/4 draw card. I get a 2/2. Does nothing. Normally this is a pretty good card, but this format's just a 2/2. It's terrible. Oh, what are you gonna do? Oh my gosh. Terror of the Peaks in this format is outrageous. It's whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, this deals damage equal to that creature's power to any target. They can go face, they can get rid of my creatures. If I don't hit like a 7/7 flyer here for 5 mana, I lose the game. Just gonna say that. 3/4 is not gonna do it. So they're gonna spend 6 mana here. They're probably gonna get something with 4 or 5, 6 power, 7 power. And then they'll be able to shoot my flyer, swing in for 5. Just destroy my board state. They now have City's Blessing as well. Wow. Terror of the Peaks is absurd in this format where every single creature after it is going to be huge. Yeah, 4 damage anywhere. They can go face, they can go creature. Yeah, they're going to get rid of the flyer. I would too. Swing in for 5 in the air. Oh, 7 in the air. I forgot the 2/1 was a flyer now too. Yeah. I don't think this is winnable. They have too many flyers, and Terror of the Peaks, even if we hit something good here, Terror of the Peaks can probably kill it. Yeah, I can't even attack. I'm going to leave the 4/4 flyer back. I mean, they have to hit something with less than 4 power here for 7 mana, which, I mean, there are not a lot of 7 mana spells that are less than 4 power, let's put it that way. Oh. We're just gonna Elish Norn the board. Whatever. Sometimes OP has the draw. Good game. Elish Norn after Terror of the Peaks to wipe the board plus ping. Outrageous. GG. Alright. Let's get going. 2/2 is real nice. Alright. A 1 mana 2/2 is like the dream. It only gets better if you get a mana dork. You may have it deal damage to target creature or planeswalker. I don't want to. Submit 0? Decline. Okay. I can't believe our opponent is starting on 3. My 2/2 and my 1/1 don't look like much, but them starting on 3 is... Well, if you're going to start on 3, Nazgul is the card to get. Jeez. Let's see what we get for our 3-drop. 3/2 is pretty good. The 3/2 can't block the Nazgul because it's a ring bearer, of all things. It is absolutely absurd. Unless I want to take 2 the entire game. Oh my gosh, did they just get a 4-mana 4/4? Okay. Well, the game clearly wants them to win, but we're going to double block the Nazgul. They're going to be able to kill both of my creatures, but there's no other way I have to kill this efficiently, and if I leave it on the board, it's going to kill like a 7/7 or 6/6 with Death Touch later in the game, so best to trade off now. What is that? Okay. Okay, so card advantage. We're going to need that to win. That's a really good hit, but the 4/4 flyer is going to kill us if we don't get a flyer. So we do need to get a flyer as soon as possible here. Preferably 4 power or toughness or better. It's a very real clock. I don't have anything to search for. I have no good attacks. I'll draw a card. The 3/5 is great. Even if, like, we trade off now, the 3/5, just drawing one extra card is incredible. 4/5 is a bad hit for them. Again, I mean, we've got 3 turns to hit a flyer that can deal with a 4/4. That'll do it. I'm going to try and trade off my 5/2. That's perfect. 5/5 Vigilance. Give every other creature Vigilance as well. And I'm going to keep drawing more cards. Fantastic. So now they're in a position where they need to hit a flyer in order to stop my 5/5. This board is fairly stable. And a 6/6. The mill's annoying, but it's not the worst. I think I should trade off. I mean, I know I've already drawn 2 cards off of my 3/5. I don't need anything more than that. We're already going to get up to 8 mana. And it's a 1-for-1. So, job done as far as I'm concerned. 4/4 flyer is great. Swing in for 5. Depending on what they hit and if they attack, this is one of those instances where maybe they should have attacked before showing me they're only getting a 4/6. I think it's better for me to 2-for-1 myself here than give away my 5/5, because if I double block and they only take 1 creature, which is a flyer, they're going to take the 5/5, and then my 4/4 trades with the flyer, and then where am I? I'm behind on board, right? So I'd rather keep Air Supremacy and hopefully stabilize with this hit. 8/8's really good. 8/8 flyer. Pay life, kill creatures. Whenever you lose life, draw that many cards. That's ridiculous. Oh, whenever you lose any life, draw that many cards. It doesn't even have to hit him. Wow. We can always pay 1 black and make it so that the 8/8 doesn't trade. I think I'm going to leave a black open to be able to do that ability. Right? You kidding me? Okay, I'll keep the one that can attack. That was awful. Game was like, you're winning too much. Here, let me give you a creature that isn't a creature with... It's just as bad as when the person cast for 18 and got nothing. I mean, at least, it doesn't matter. We're still winning. And no matter what they get, you know, a flyer or whatever, it can't stabilize unless it's 2 things or lifelink. Yeah. It's flyer, but it's not quite good enough. and draw a million cards. Yeah. Fun game. Let's do a few more. One. Just a 1/1. There you go. Alright, we got a game. Somebody else knows how to curve out. Permeating Mass is actually quite good. Could be really interesting in this format, actually. What did we get? Oh my gosh. If we got Annoyed Procession in this format, that's ridiculous. None of these other ones are very good or relevant, though. Banishing Light would be okay. Alright. It's not good enough. I mean, we could get Annoyed Procession, but I think it's better to trade off the Permeating Mass. Oh, they didn't even... Wow. They left me with 2 creatures. They could have killed my 1/1, and then I still had the 2/2, but they made it Permeating Mass. That was an interesting choice, because now I can Permeating Mass them in return. That's a lackluster 3-mana 2/2. So that 1/2 they got is going to win the game for them. Yeah, this isn't going to do anything for me. They're 1/2. I mean, yeah, it pings them for 1, but they draw an extra card every turn. Skitter's great. I would make... I mean, I guess I would make the 1/1. They didn't. Interesting. I mean, they don't have a good attack. I don't know what they were thinking. Don't know. You get card advantage from that. Back that guy up. There you go. Opponents. Don't give away your glorious 2-drop that's winning the game for you. There's no reason to discard. Yeah. Like, it's absolutely insane 2-drop that they got. So, I don't like our odds to win this game. We haven't put enough pressure on through turn 4, and they have a 1/2 that has infinite card advantage. It's just a 1/4 double striker. It's not too bad. Let's see what our 5-drop is. (3/5) is not what I want. I'm going to offer my 4/3 up. They can double block or single block however they want. No blocks. Wow. Okay. I mean, at this point, they have so much card advantage that it's probably not worth it for them to keep it. They probably should trade off their 1/2 instead of pinging themselves for 1 out at this point, like chump attack even. Because they have plenty of mana to cast any spell they want. That is a very good creature. Oh my gosh. 5-drop. Doesn't do the first thing, but the second thing is when it attacks, you may have the base power and toughness of every creature become 5/5, basically. We're just gonna be casting our 6-mana spells here. Don't mind us. It's not a very good hit. I mean, it's good because it's a flyer, but we need to get another flyer to be able to block that 5/5. And obviously we can't exile and bring anything back. Oh man, swinging for a 5/5 double striker with the 1/4 is gonna be disgusting. That 1/2 is going to be a 5/5. I mean, what kind of blocks do I have? 2. Wish permeating mass had reach. 6/6, okay. Tali. At least there's no spells. Just a 6/6. I guess they didn't understand that everything would become a 5/5. I'm not sure why they're only attacking in the air here. Yeah, I would definitely have attacked with my double striker. Minimum. Got a little bit lucky there. We have 1 turn to try and turn this around here. Needs to be good. It's okay. It's not great. Okay. We missed the whole prey counter in your hand thing. Okay. So we're losing. I guess I'm going to swing for 4. I mean, I'm not going to block the 5/5 in the air. Might as well try and put them on a 2-turn clock here. Maybe we can chump our way out of this. I mean, obviously I can't make trades for 5/5s all the way down the board if they decide to swing out. But, I mean, our 1-drop 1/1 is going to be relevant against that 5/5 double striker. It's going to save us 10 life by spending 1 mana early game. And no, we're not casting 7 drops right now, but our 6 drops are still going. They're still relevant on the board. And we're going to have a really nice chump now. That Brontodon is going to kill us. Oh my gosh. That's a huge creature. Luckily their Atali shrinks. I don't know if they knew that. Yeah, we have them on the back crack, don't we? They overextended. Chump. Chump. We need to at least block 1 more. Yeah, they'll take 1 creature. We'll be left with 2. The 6/6 can eat something. We have it on the back crack. They overextended. 4 in the air. Too many creatures to get through. Yep. So that's the other, good thing about this format is obviously I'm not the one making the overextended attack, but if you feel like in Magic you need to work on when should I attack, when should I block, when is it right to attack, this format's really, really, really good at teaching you, like, okay, that was a bad attack. Like, I'm going to die on the back crack now. And these skills aren't very easy to practice, so it's just nice to be able to have a format that kind of illustrates it. Yeah, oops, they now know. Good game. But it's nice to be able to play a format that you easily reset. There's very little thought involved. It's not like you have to think about your sequencing of casting spells. You just have to get a random creature. And because it's that simple, like, you can now focus on good attacks versus bad attacks, complicated board states. If you're newer to Magic, or maybe you only play Commander, or you're looking to get more serious about Limited or other formats, MOMIR is a really, really good format to kind of learn in. First strike. It's a good hit for them, and they are playing on turn 1, which means, as far as I'm concerned, they know what's up. Our 1-drop is not nearly as good. We just have Toxic 1, basically. Yeah. Okay. But this format's going to be great if you're looking to get better at just wide board states, complicated board states, attacking. When is it right to double block? When is it right to chump? When is it right to trade? How early should you trade off your creatures mid-game, right? When are you making those trades with those 3/3s or those 4/4s? Is it smart to trade? Should you hold them back so you have better blocks later? Playing this format, if you're good at making those decisions, that's a very good hit for us. Okay. I was going to maybe consider trading off our 1/1 and forcing them to get the 2/2 zombie out of the way. But now that I can chump block with our 1/1 later game, gain 2 life, ping for 2, I think it's in our best interest to let 2 damage through if they attack. It's a very good card. Oh my gosh. They're going to be able to give like a 7/7 ground creature flying. I need a flyer or else we're going to lose pretty quick. That is a good card, but not a flyer. 3 mana 4/4. I can't complain. Doesn't do anything. Yep. We're gonna lose to like a 2/2 flyer that gives extra damage. Because this isn't really doing anything with the non-token creature thing. Might have to trade off for a 7/3, although it's kind of a fireball, isn't it? The 7/3 is interesting, right? They'll be able to swing in for a lot of damage next turn with it in the air, but it's only for 1 turn. Not exactly getting the blocks and ping that I'm hoping for. The trample also kind of ruins that on the 7/3. Okay, that's some synergy. We can ramp with that and gain and ping, but it still doesn't solve our problem that our board state is infinitely worse. And we're falling very far behind. They're going to hit us for 9 in the air next turn. Put us to 7. And then we're like on a 2-turn clock basically, or 1-turn clock, depending on what they hit here for their 5-drop. I needed a flyer like yesterday to deal with that 2/2 flyer, so it couldn't attack in. Yeah. Swing for 9. 5 next turn in the air. It's not lethal. It's still 2 turns, but it's a lot. They're not doing it. Okay. I think that's a mistake. I think I would fireball that 7/3 straight in the air at me while they had a clear shot. And I'm going to go ahead and sack my 1/1 here, gain 2, make a treasure, so I can cast a 6-drop and hopefully get a flyer. I mean, the only way I get out of this game is if I get a flyer, and there's more flyers at the 6-drop than the 5-drop level. So getting 2 turns in a row to try and hit a flyer on 6 seems better than trying to guess at 5. That's not it. Okay. So 9. I mean, they have to have me in 2 turns here. Sacrifice an artifact, deals 4 damage. Doesn't have any artifacts. So it's a 4/4. Okay. Still lethal. Close. Not quite. What? Okay. I guess they're going to do the 7/3 last, but are they really wanting to trade off their 7/3 instead of their 3/4? I don't understand that. Let's hit a flyer. There's a flyer. We're technically not dead. We take 7 in the air. We kill the 2/2. Block. 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 I mean, we're holding. Oh, no. Are we dead now? They get a free attack for 9. Oh. Why wouldn't they put the 7/3 in the air? Okay, so they're going to come through for 6. Let's make the best blocks possible here. We're going to go here. We're going to go here to eat as much trample damage as possible. I need to save my 4/4 for later. We can block here. I can't sack and gain life. There's nothing that makes sense to do that. I'm tempted to do it, but I think it's right to keep the 2/2. We have 8 mana, yeah? Let's go for it. That's a great draw. It's not a big creature, but, you know, being able to draw 3 cards is going to get us to an 8-drop, 9-drop, 10-drop even. So, big deal. We're going to pull ahead here if we can stabilize this somehow. My 4/4 is going to have to trade for their 4/4. They're going to hit us for 2. Actually, no. It would be better if I ate their 2/2, sacked a creature to gain 2 life, went to 1. Is how we're going to have to do it. They didn't attack though. Okay. 8-drop it is. Game over. Lifelink. Yeah, now I just sit back. 7/7 flying lifelink is going to be very difficult for them to beat. Stayed alive. I think they got better creature hits than us for sure. That's actually pretty good. The menace is great. Are we still winning? We attack for 7 lifelink. They can hit us for 6. Yeah. Still stable. Barely. They gave up. Anyway, MOMIR's fun. Thanks for watching. I will have another draft video shortly, maybe next week. See you then.